Hey YouTube family, how are you guys? I hope you're having an amazing day thus far. And I'm broadcasting on Sunday, so I'm going to say happy Sunday to you. It depends on which day you actually observe or see this video, so it might actually be Monday when you see it. But either way, I want to say happy Sunday, and I hope you are having an amazing day. So today, I want to come to you and talk to you a little bit about 5 steps to healing. 5 steps to help you on your journey to healing. Now, we all know that this month is representation, the month of October for breast cancer awareness, where we all wear our pink in observance of breast cancer awareness, whether you yourself, have bout with cancer or you've had a loved one. So we know that pink is the color for that. And I myself, I have not had cancer, but I do observe the month and wear my pink to represent that. But I also wanted to acknowledge the fact that October is also Domestic Violence Month as well. So I'm done in my purple today because purple is the color for domestic violence awareness. So I'm wearing that today as well. So I want to get to the topic today about 5 steps to help you on your healing journey. And you know, I always talk about that's my mission, and that's what I do here. Help high achieving and ambitious women cultivate healing and rebuild their self-worth. So I want to give you some steps on how to do just that and how to at least get on track and be on the right path towards your healing journey. So number 1, and I always have notes in front of me, so I'll be glancing down from time to time. But the very first step I would say that will be beneficial in your healing journey, and I've actually implemented this myself, is to acknowledge an acceptance. You want to acknowledge the fact of where you are in that season of your life. If you're in the midst of it, whether it be coming out of a bad divorce, a bad breakup, living, church hurt, as people like to call it nowadays, hurt from, a friend or a co-worker or work environment, whatever the case may be, that you're dealing with some baggage and some hurt and you need to be healed from it. The very first thing I would say to do would be acknowledge where you are in that season and acceptance. Acknowledge and acceptance. And when I say acceptance, I don't mean accept it and just lie down and just do nothing. I'm just meaning acknowledge where you are, accept whatever it is that, okay, this is where I am, this is what's going on. Because we first have to do that, because a lot of times as women, we could be in a certain situation and we're in denial, or we don't want to believe, because something is so bad, we don't want to acknowledge or believe the fact that that's what we're dealing with, or that the person that we love is causing us this much pain. So sometimes we live in denial and we don't want to accept that. So acceptance, acknowledge what you're dealing with and accept the fact that whatever it is that's going on, this is what I'm dealing with. So let me figure out what I need to do to go to the next step to get better. So that's number 1, acknowledge your situation. And I would say number 2 would be seek help. You always want to seek out some help for this, and this could be in various ways. Seeking help could be talking to your pastor at your church if you're a member or have a church family. I would always say reach out to a therapist. Depending on the level of what you're dealing with, seek out a therapist and or coach. I believe that it's a good idea to do a combination of both, and here's why. Therapy is more on the clinical side, and a lot of times we need that when we're dealing with some deep-seated issues and hurt from situations. So therapy is on the clinical side, where they can prescribe, probably medications and a treatment plan. So that's more on the clinical side. Coaching, on the other side, is that person that can help you get from point A to point Z, help you get to where you need to go, and help you in a way that where you can't help yourself. Help pull things out of you, be a motivational and a friend, someone that can listen. You can put everything out on the table, work through your problems, and come up with a strategy and plan that you both could work together in getting you where you need to be. So one is clinical, the other is not, but they both are very much needed and recommended when you're dealing with hurt of any type. healing of any type. So I would say seek help. And like I said, you could do that in a variety of ways. You could talk to your pastor, you could hire a coach, you could hire a therapist, but always seek some help, because 9 times out of 10, we cannot get through it by ourselves, no matter how strong you are, and how, self-made, as some people like to say we are. We all need help from time to time, and to seek out help will help you get to where you need to go much faster and in a more safe and healthy manner. So number 2 would be seek support. Number 3, I would say self-care. And it's just as simple as that. Self-care, that's very important. It's not rocket science, but we need to take the time to take care of ourselves. And that can come in the form of getting more rest. Sometimes we just need to pull back. We're doing too much. We got too many balls up in the air. We're juggling. We're boss babes, boss chicks. We're wives, we're mothers, we're taking care of children, we're running our businesses. We're CEOs, we're highly educated. But sometimes we need to pull back and do some self-care. And that means sometimes we have to close the door to other things and just isolate and do what we need to do for ourselves. Get more rest. You might want to do some meditation. Something that's going to help you where you get to yourself so that you can hear your own thoughts. You can talk to the Lord, and you can just help your body and your mind to relax and to heal, because you can't heal and you can't hear from God when you're just going. You're just constantly going. You never stop. And I don't believe he intended for us to be like a machine, just on go 24/7. So pull back. Let's implement some self-care. And as I say, you could do different things, whatever fits your needs, whether it be getting more rest, whether it means meditation. Some people like to exercise. For them, the exercising helps them to be able to relieve stress. Everybody don't like to exercise. I'm not a lover of it, but I know it's something that I need to do. So I recommend it. But let's just get some self-care so we can implement any of those things that you prefer to do. Self-care will be number 3. And number 4, I would say we need to learn how to deal with grief and loss. A lot of times when you are healing, and I would say 90% of the time, especially if you're coming out of a divorce or a bad relationship, and don't quote me, but I read something somewhere where it talked about divorce actually being the equivalent of death, because it's the death of a relationship. And I can speak from my own experience. When you come out of a bad relationship, being abusive, divorce, especially if it was someone you loved and you spent significant amount of your time and an amount of your life with, you grieve. A lot of times, no matter how bad it is, you grieve because you had a soul tie, number 1, and you're grieving what could have been or what you wish it would have been. So we have to learn how to deal with the grief of it. And I think a lot of times people minimize it. They don't understand that we know that death is finality, that you would, that's the end of that person, that you won't see or talk to them in this life again. However, divorce or a bad breakup, the person have not left the earth. They're still here, but it's the death of the relationship. And you go through a grieving. It's similar to a physical death, from what I'm told clinically and from my experience. That gaping hole that you have in your heart is equivalent to that. You go through a grieving period. Now and I need to put this disclaimer out there, that's only if you were truly in love and wanted to be with that person, because a lot of people get married for all different circumstances and reasons, and they're not totally invested from the beginning. So that's a whole nother video and a whole nother conversation. But I'm speaking of those that were completely invested and totally involved and engaged in their relationship or marriage or whatever the case may have been. So you go through a grieving process when that's over with. And in that grief in itself is a process, and you have your ebbs and flows. You have your good days and your bad days. So we need to learn how to deal with grief. And we do that and that goes back to one of the other steps, seeking help. because a lot of times we can't get through that. You know, you have bad days and you can't get through it on your own. So you discuss those feelings and thoughts with that help that you seek, whether it be a coach or a therapist. And as I like to recommend, a good combination of both is ideal. So you learn to, get those feelings out, and you have those discussions with the help that you hire. So we have to learn how to deal with the grief, because that is a part of the healing process when you have a major loss in your life. And number 5, this is my favorite one of all, and it is the to rebuild and move forward. So this is the end result. When you go through all of that, you want to come to the point to where you want to rebuild and start your life all over again. Rebuild and move forward, which I like to call becoming the best version of yourself. And when you get to this stage, you want to sit down, do some reflection. And again, this is a good thing to do with your coach or therapist as well. Set some new goals for yourself. Set a new vision for yourself, the things that you want to do, because you want to you want to rebuild that you had lost. And what I mean is, a lot of times we lose ourselves when we've lost a relationship or when we've went through something traumatic. We've lost ourselves, and so we want to rebuild that up, and we want to do it in an efficient way, but most importantly, a healthy way, because we want to be the best version of ourselves. We want to be all that God created us to be. So rebuild and move forward. And like I say, one of the ways of doing that is by setting a new vision. Take out a journal or a pen and a piece of paper and write down what you want your vision to be for yourself. What it is that you want. What do you want to accomplish? Set some new goals for yourself now that you're in a different place and you're starting a new journey. You're on a new path. And like I say, discuss those visions and goals with the help that you seeked out. So those are 5 things, and there are many more, but those are just 5 things that I could think of right off the top of my head of steps that will help you towards your healing journey. So again, I hope you have gotten something out of this video, and that you've got some valuable information that you can take and use for yourself or someone else that you know. And as always, I am so appreciative of you tuning into my channel. I don't take it for granted at all. I just thank you for just coming across it and taking out the time to listen and learn, okay? So I hope you have a wonderful day. Like I said before, I ask that you subscribe to my channel. And not only that, please hit the notification button so that you're aware when I upload new videos. Okay, so I hope you've gotten something out of this. Subscribe, hit the notification on your channel. And if you have anything that you would like for me to discuss in the upcoming videos, you can drop a comment below, on the channel. And I hope to see you again on the next video. Be blessed.